All right, so let's jump right in. There's this one line, just one, from the ancient book of Joel that has been causing a stir for, well, for centuries. It's this huge prophecy, this divine promise. And today, we're going to try and figure out what it really means for you, for me, for all of us. And here it is. This is the verse that's at the very heart of this whole mystery. I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Wow, I mean, that's a powerful, sweeping statement, right? It sounds kind of straightforward, but the real question, the one people have been asking forever, is what did the prophet actually mean by that? Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What is all flesh? Does it mean just a select few, a specific group of believers? Or is it something way bigger, way more radical? Something that includes, well, everyone? That's what we're digging into today. So we're jumping into Joel's mysterious prophecy. And this is more than just some dusty old line from a scroll. It's a huge statement about humanity. It's a promise that, honestly, depending on how you look at it, can either build walls between people or just completely tear them down. And for thousands of years, people have been trying to figure this out. I mean, you've had theologians, scholars, you name it, all debating what this verse really means. It's definitely not a settled issue, not by a long shot. And honestly, that's what makes it so interesting to explore. Okay, so this really lays out the two sides of the coin. On one hand, you have the traditional views, the idea that the spirit is only for a select group, that it's a conditional thing, and it's something that'll happen way off in the future. But then, look at the other side. This new interpretation completely flips that on its head. It says the spirit is for all of humanity. It's an unconditional gift, and it's not some future event. It's happening right now all the time. So, how in the world do we get to that much bigger, more universal idea? Well, to do that, we kind of have to become detectives. We've got to look closer at the original words themselves. The secret isn't about inventing something new, it's about getting a much clearer picture of what was being said in the first place. First up, let's tackle this term, the Spirit. Now, we need to kind of set aside the idea that it's this exclusive thing only for certain people. What if, instead, the Spirit is the universal, life-giving energy that's just inherent in all of creation? A divine presence that's already part of everything, including every single one of us. And then there's this phrase, poured out. This is such a great image. It's all about abundance, about generosity, and about not discriminating. I mean, think about it like rain, right? The rain doesn't stop and check if the ground is worthy before it falls. Nope. It just falls on everyone and everything, no questions asked. That's the picture the prophecy is painting. All right, so we're looking at the Spirit as this universal life force, and we're seeing poured out as this act of total, unconditional giving. Now we get to put those two pieces together, and when we do, we end up with a pretty radical conclusion. And you can see how the logic just clicks into place here. Step 1, we re-examine the Spirit as a universal thing. Step 2, we understand poured out means it's given freely to everyone. So what's step 3? The conclusion has to be that all flesh means, well, exactly what it says. Every single person. No exceptions, no insiders, no outsiders. This is the real takeaway then. The prophecy isn't describing some exclusive club you have to get into. It's talking about a universal grace, a divine gift that's already available to every single human being on the planet. Just because they're here, just because they exist. There's this quote that just captures the whole idea so perfectly. Grace is not a private pond for a chosen few, but a global ocean for all of humanity. I mean, how great is that? We're not talking about some tiny, guarded little pond. We're talking about a vast, endless ocean that belongs to everyone. Okay, that's a beautiful idea, right? But you might be wondering, so what? Is this just some abstract theological concept, or does it actually matter for us today, in the real world? Well, let's get into that, because this is where it gets really interesting. Because when you start seeing the world through this lens, that this universal grace is in everyone, it really changes things. It can't help but foster deeper empathy for other people, right? It starts to break down all of that us versus them thinking. It even opens the door for real dialogue between different faiths. You start seeing the divine in everyone, and suddenly spirituality isn't this exclusive thing anymore. It becomes radically inclusive. So you see, what started out as us just looking at an ancient text becomes something so much bigger. It's more than just theology. It's practically a blueprint for a more connected and compassionate world. It's a way of seeing that could totally change how we interact with each other. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. It's really a question. If this is true, if grace is truly for everyone, how might that change the way you see the world tomorrow? How might you look at the people you meet, your family, your coworkers, even strangers, differently? Just something to think about.